Thank you. Well, thank you everybody for coming tonight. With the weather forecast and everything, I didn't expect to see anybody here. So thank you very much.
Well, it was the homework that you didn't think.
I know. I thought, don't ever give anybody homework assignment again. Okay, so let's talk about finding some more patriots. The picture is the Jackson Madison chapter's Field of Flags. This picture was taken a couple of years ago by Bill Holloman. And at the bottom of each flagpole, you'll see a little marker, and it has the name of a patriot on it. And I'll show you one later so you can see one up close. But if you'll go visit our Field of Flags we put them out before Flag Day, which is June the 14th, and we take them down after July the 4th. And anyone that has a patriot that you would like to have a flag on our field, it's $35. You don't have to be a member of the Jackson Madison chapter. You just tell us your patriot's name and pay the $35, and we'll always keep your patriot there. It's not like we change every year. Your patriot will always be there. So you can take a walk through the park. It's going to be at the Liberty Gardens Park. And you can just walk through and look at all of the names, and you might find somebody there that you think you might be related to. In the mid-60s, when I was a teenager, this family tree came in the mail along with a letter from Gordon Turner from Scotts Hill. And the tree trunk has Charles Austin and Phoebe Ellen Woodward. And then the branches have their children, and then the little limbs that are going out from the branches are Charles and Phoebe's grandchildren. So when this came in the mail, and up in the upper left corner it said, "Keep this," and I've kept it all these years. This was so exciting to me as a teenager to see this family tree, because no one had really talked about a family tree. My grandparents had talked about their relatives, but actually putting it on the tree was really interesting to me. So Gordon Turner sent the letter and that family tree to all of the descendants from Scotts Hill. And then he worked for 10 years or more to put everything together to make this book. So I was 26 years old when the book was finally published, and my parents and my sister and I drove over to Scotts Hill to get the book from Mr. Turner in 1977. He signed the book for us, and I was really excited to get that book, especially when I got home and read that Phoebe Ellen Woodward Austin's father, Jordan Woodward, was a Revolutionary War soldier. I never liked history in school, but when I read that, and everything just kind of came real to me that I was part of it. And then also, old Daniel Murphy fought in the latter part of the Revolutionary War after he got a little older and was able to get in the war. So that was exciting too, because I did discover that he was one of my ancestors too. Now, I have a lot of people to thank for helping me learn more about my patriots. So Gordon Turner was my second cousin twice removed, and he and I share Jordan Woodward and Christopher Woodward. And then the lady on the top right corner, Frances Morgan from North Carolina, she was my sixth cousin, one time removed. And when I was searching for the Woodwards, go to Google and I'm searching for Jordan Woodward, and I came across her very nice website that she had. And on that website, she had some vouchers that Christopher Woodward had been paid for selling pork and bacon to the American troops. And the lady who had found those vouchers is in the lower left corner, Versonoy McAtee from Texas. So then I Googled her, found her phone number, called her in Texas and talked to her and asked her if it was okay if I used those vouchers, because I wanted to try to prove that Christopher Woodward was a patriot of the American Revolution. Well, she had tried to prove both Jordan and Christopher Woodward as patriots because she was a charter member of her Elizabeth Crockett chapter in Texas, and she had proven several patriots. But every time she tried to prove Jordan Woodward, DIR never would approve it for her because we just didn't really have really good information to provide to prove him. So one day when Jackie Utley was in Washington, D.C. at DAR, she talked to the genealogists and she talked to them about Gordon Turner's book, The History of Scotts Hill. And they finally agreed to let us use that book as a reference because Mr. Turner did not cite his sources in the book. But since his father had been a friend of Charles Austin, personally knew him, they let us use the book for some of those patriots, not all of them, but for some of them. So I have Gordon Turner, Francis Morgan, and Versonoy McAtee to thank for my Christopher Woodward. So I took the information, I sent it to DAR, and they finally approved Christopher Woodward. And then Miss Versonoy, who was trying to get all of her things together because she died at the age of 94 in 2017. So she was working to get all her patriots that she possibly could proven. So those three people helped me a lot, but then I in turn helped her because since she had never been able to prove them, now she was able to. So we were both happy. And then the lady in the lower right, Miss Melba, she lived to be 94. I met her on Ancestry. She had shared her entire research that she had done her whole entire life. So don't give up when you don't find something that you're looking for on Ancestry. Be sure and just keep going back and looking, because what she helped me with opened up my whole maternal line. It was wonderful, and I found an ancestor, Patriot ancestor, by connecting with her also. So on the DAR website, dar.org, and also let me say, all the websites that I talk about tonight, I'm going to email you a page that has all of them listed. So on DAR, if you go up to the top where I put the star, the GRS, that's the Genealogical Research System. And then in the bar that you see that is highlighted in yellow, those are the different things that you can click on that page to research some more. But the ones we're going to talk about are the first three tonight: the ancestor and the member and the descendants. So for the descendants tab, and I know it's small print, I'm sorry, but the projector didn't work tonight, and that's why we're using this TV. So I searched for my grandmother and on the descendants tab, and I came up with her in the information for my patriot, Mary Collins. So there's a number there that tells the member for that joined through Mary Collins, and it's my niece Amy that joined through her. And then on the ancestor tab, I typed in Woodward, Jordan, North Carolina. When you're researching on that site, on this page, there are three things there that are highlighted with the red asterisk that you need to at least put in something for one of them. One thing that you can do, if you know that your family was from North Carolina or Maine or wherever the revolution was going on, one that you know that your family was there, you could put in either the place of service or the place that the person was born or they died. Like you could just put in North Carolina. And then you could go up to the last name, and if you're not sure of their last name, you could just put in the letter A and search, and you could just look through the whole state. And then you could do the same thing for another state. So I did that for West Tennessee, and you'll see later where I wrote an article for the Jackson Sun, and I wanted to find all of the patriots in West Tennessee, and this is what I did. I put state of death, I put Tennessee, and then for the last name I put A, and I looked through everybody. And then I put in a B, and I looked through everybody because I just looked for the West Tennessee county, so I just zipped through it. So your homework assignment is to do that when you get home. Okay, then this is what I got when I searched for Jordan Woodward. Now, the page that you see on the right, those are the first ladies who joined through Jordan Woodward, and I was the second one. I've got a star by my number, And then there are several other people. I just didn't have room to put them all on this page. So that was going through the Ancestor tab. So now if you take my number and you go to the Member tab and you put my number in, then you see the 5 people listed. I hope you can see them. Mary Collins, Jesse Hodges, Daniel Murphy, Christopher Woodward, and Jordan Woodward. And then you can click on one of those. Here's the information on all 5 of them. It tells where they served and where they're from and all that information. And then if you can see the little red thing that looks like a little family tree, can y'all see it very well? I know it's very small, and I'm sorry.
Up in the right corner.
Well, okay. Yeah, at the upper right corner on each person's information. It looks like a little family tree. You can click on that, and it will show you all of the national numbers of the people who joined through them or did a supplemental through them. So if I took Mary Collins, this is Mary Collins' page, okay? And this is my information. So I proved Mary Collins, my sister, my niece, and on this one, my first 3 generations, you can't see that information because that's private. So I'm generation 1, then my parents, and then my grandparents. So as I told you earlier, my grandparents, Virgie and William Manus, for my niece, you could see my grandparents because for my niece, they were her 4th generation. So now you can see them under the Descendants tab because my niece joined, but you would not be able to see them just because of mine. So on the 6th generation in this group, my 3rd great-grandfather was in the Civil War. And the way that I found that out is I met a guy, he's also 90-something years old, Ray Hodges, and he on Facebook, and he had posted a certificate where he had joined the Confederate group. Sons of Confederacy, thank you. Okay, and then in the upper right, generation 7 is my 4th great-grandfather, and he died serving in the War of 1812, James Hodges. And then his father, Jesse Hodges, was in the American Revolution, and then Jesse's mother-in-law, Mary Collins, was considered a patriot of the American Revolution because she let the American troops use her pasture. She was a widow, and they used her pasture. So there are several different things that DAR accepts for service to be a patriot. I always just thought, well, the people that were out there fighting were the ones that were the patriots. But the signers of the Declaration of Independence, the ones who were in the military service or civil service, like if you were a juror, some of these words are hard for me to say. I can't talk. If they were a sheriff, a judge, a constable, things like that, justice of the peace, those things counted. And then there's a long list for patriotic service. We used to have a lady in our chapter, and she's a member of our society here, Barbara Stegall. She lives over in South Carolina now. She had a patriot who had contributed whiskey to the American troops. And so he was a patriot.
I wish I'd known that when Barbara lived here. Did not know that.
We have her email address. If they were a prisoner, I mean, there's a long list here. And this is listed online too. So you can look all this up on that sheet that I'm going to send you. It will be on there. It's on the DAR website. Okay, this shows the voucher that Christopher Woodward had when he sold that pork and bacon to the American troops. That helped me prove that he was a patriot. And this is just showing Christopher on the DAR website, and that Gordon Turner, Versonoy McAtee, Francis Cook, and I all worked together to get him proven. So my point on all this is you need to meet your cousins, your 4th, 5th, 6th cousins, like I have the new cousin back here, Lori. So it's very important. And so like Lori is a Woodward, And DAR has this project that if you have a male, like for Gordon, okay, I can't talk. Christopher Woodward, if I can find a Woodward that's living today that could take the DNA test, the paternal test, and this person that needs to take it needs to connect to somebody who's in DAR like me. And then this project that we have, we are trying to find paternal descendants of our Patriots. And even like Mary Collins, if we found a female descendant that would take the female test, we could include her in this project also. But it's real tricky. You know, you have to look at your tree and find the right people that can do those tests. Jamie, am I saying that right?
Six generation from, you don't want it too close to the Patriots. You want to be about the fifth and sixth generation.
Yeah. Okay. This is my wish list. These are Patriots that I have not proven yet. I know I'm never going to prove Isaac Eason. Linda Farmer and I worked on him 10 years and we finally given up on him. But the others are possibilities. And like the first one, Wimbeck Bonnet, he was from Switzerland, and I found a really nice document on ancestry about him when he and his family moved here. So my suggestion is if you don't already have an ancestry subscription, get an ancestry subscription, take the DNA test, and then you'll start finding documents and you can connect with other relatives that will maybe share information with you. The Jackson Medicine Chapter, DAR, has a website, a public website, and we have all of our Patriots listed. You can only see a few of them here, but if you open up our website and you can scroll down and look at all the Patriots. But I did put them all on this slide together, and I know you can't read that because it's so small, but right now we have 161 Patriots for the members who are active in our chapter right now. And these are our Madison County Patriots. So sometimes you may be just driving along and you have no idea you are passing by where an American Revolutionary War Patriot is buried. If you go down 412, you'll pass by where Jonas Clark is buried. He's sort of in the Cotton Grove area. But 1 mile from my house on Browns Church Road is the Fenner Cemetery. And it took me a while to find it, and I think Jack Wood is the one who told me about the Fenner Cemetery. And so I was really interested in Lucy Fenner. So on her 216th birthday, I went up and visited her grave, took some flowers and the flag, and you'll see the picture on the top left is the whole cemetery there. And they've taken the fallen tombstones and they just leaned them up against the tree. So somewhere in that cemetery, Dr. Richard Fenner is buried there somewhere, but I didn't see a tombstone that I thought looked like his. And it is private property, and I haven't been back again. But I did go back. That was March of 2014. May of 2014, just 2 months later, I went back again, and it was so grown up then, because everything had started to grow, and I thought a snake was going to eat me alive or something. So I put my flowers and my flag down, and I put a little flag on the outside. So just driving down Browns Church Road, you're going to see a cornfield or something over there, and you have no idea that in that grove of trees is a cemetery. Now, on the Tennessee State Library and Archives, there is something really cool called Patriot Pass. And they have taken the different records from the pension records, and they put them together so that you see the names over on the left side, and you can click on one of those names and it will start pinpointing where that person traveled. So the lines that are showing there, it's my Jesse Hodges, where he started in Virginia and where he moved down from Pittsylvania County to Halifax. Then he came to Tennessee, and he was in Sumner County, which became Wilson County, part of it did. And then he ended up in Henderson County for a short time because he had signed something there. And then he ended up in McNairy County. and that's where he and his wife both passed away. Then you can see my Daniel Murphy's, that bottom red line, where he started in North Carolina and he ended up in Henderson, Decatur County. And then that's what the map looks like when all of those patriots that came through or came to Tennessee, if they're all highlighted. So take the time to look this up and look at all of those patriots. And as part of that, if you know that you had somebody like in North Carolina in Anson County, that's the one that I've highlighted here. And you could go to that state and that county and click on it, and then it will show you the names of the people who enlisted in that county, and you might find somebody that you're related to there. On the Sons of the American Revolution, you can search by Patriot search, member search, descendant search, biography search, and cemetery search. And my brother is a member of the James Madison chapter. You'll see his name highlighted at the bottom, Kenny Robert Haney, and he joined through Jesse Hodges. So I put the information up there about Jesse Hodges also. So for DAR, they don't show our names, but for SAR, they do show the member's name. It's just that for my brother, I know on the next page, it did not show his parents or his grandparents, like DAR keeps them private too, but it did start with the great-grandparents. And I found this really good YouTube video. These ladies are talking about the Sons of the American Revolution, so they can tell you a whole lot more about them than I could stand here and try to tell you. It's a very good video. And Connie Knox is the lady with the microphone right in front of her. She has this YouTube site called Genealogy TV, and I was really happy to find out that she's a little bit related to my husband through the Winslow family. So I think that was cool. And this is the site I really, really like: the Southern Campaigns of the Revolutionary War Pensions. They've been transcribed by Will Graves, and you can click on a name, and these names have a number beside it, and it is their pension number. So if you have a lot of people with the same name, but you know what your person's pension number was, then you can zero in on that and click that. There's a lot of information. There are a lot of other different things that I had kind of highlighted in blue, but their pension records are amazing. Sometimes they tell names of their wives, their children, a lot of different things. One of my patriots, he had signed one thing that his handwriting was very good. Then he signed something else and his handwriting was terrible. But he had made a note that said the reason why his handwriting was bad was because he had palsy and sometimes he couldn't write. So you never know what you're going to find out when you read these things. And this is just the one that I copied on my Jordan Woodward, that everything that he's telling about where he lived and what he did and things like that. And so you'll see his signature that I put at the bottom. That's just the second page of it. He said he was living in the county of Wake, North Carolina, when he was called into service. Another thing is you'll find historic markers, different places. In Decatur County, at the courthouse, they have the names of these patriots. My Daniel Murphy is listed on that. And on the top left is Christopher Woodward, the lady that I said was my cousin, Frances Morgan. She worked so hard to get all the information together on the Woodward, and they unveiled this marker last year, just a few months before she passed away. And then the other little marker at the bottom is just a kind of up close of the marker that we have at the bottom of our flags in our field of flags. The top left is Jonas Clark. It's hard to get to his grave, so when we had the SAR had the grave marking, I didn't try to go that because they said there were gullies and everything trying to get to it. The one in the middle is where our Jackson Madison chapter did the grave marking of Benjamin Toller in Gibson County that we did a couple years ago. And then the one in the upper right is Moses Cox. He is one of mine that I would like to prove lineage to him. So he's buried in Georgia. And he also served in the War of 1812. So the U.S. Pension Roll of 1835, you can find a lot of information there, so be sure and look that up. It's on Ancestry. You'll see on that one I underlined Jordan Woodward from Anson County, North Carolina. And then here's one from Tennessee. And then this is the form on Ancestry that you would fill out for the census of 1840. And then I copied the Western District of Tennessee. These are all the names. And you can get them for all the states. And the book, it's been scanned and it's available for free download on Google Books, which if you've never tried Google Books, go home and try Google Books. And I'll give you the website for that. It's actually books.google.com. And then just start looking for a name. I mean, I searched for my brother's name the other day because he writes a lot of things, and I did find his name on a lot of books where people had given him credit for the books that they wrote, that he had given them information. But I looked for one of my ancestors, and it described him. It said he had red hair, he had a big beard, he was big built, and so that was exciting to kind of know what he looked like. And then, of course, we have a lot of books here at the library. Jonathan Smith was just wonderful, and he wrote so many books, and he had the Fenner Cemetery in one of his books, and so be sure to visit the library. And then Tennessee Society, Daughters of the American Revolution, published this book in 2022, Patriots to Pioneers, the First Tennessee Volunteers. There's one here in the Tennessee room, so go by and look at it. Daughters all across the state wrote stories and submitted about our patriots. And then a couple of other ladies in Henderson County wrote books about the Revolutionary soldiers there. Zelma O'Neill wrote about 3 forefathers, Daniel Murphy, Daniel Winchester, and Jordan Woodward. And then another lady wrote the Austin's Chapel, the tribe of Benjamin, and she had the picture of Jordan Woodward. And this is the article that I wrote a few years ago where I got all the names by going through the DAR website and doing the A and Tennessee and looking through it. And it's on newspapers.com now. Also on newspapers.com, you might even be able to find some more current articles, but still be about the American Revolution. You know, newspapers.com has articles, has clippings from the 1700s, so you can go back and find the originals, or you might be surprised at different stories and things you'd find. Of course, Fold 3, I don't have a subscription to that, so I can't tell you much about that. But
the library has a subscription, and you can use it with your library card number.
Good. Well, I thought you did, but so we can use it from home too?
If you're a member
Okay.
of Ancestry, you can get Fold 3.
Yeah, but you have to pay for it, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to do that.
You have to pay for Ancestry, and not Fold 3 at a discount.
Okay.
It's a little cheaper than if you got it by itself.
Okay.
What is that called?
Fold 3.
Fold 3.
And it's strictly military.
And if you'll be sure that your email address, if you don't already get emails from us, be sure and put your email address on our sign-in list. Yeah, and I'll send you the list. And then join a genealogy society. This is from 2015, I think, when the quarterly that we published was all about the American Revolution. And I'm sure Stephen has something special planned for America 250. So join a genealogy society. And I joined one from Wake County, North Carolina, because that's where my Christopher Woodward was from. And during COVID, they started just meeting online, and they still do. So once a month, I just log in, and I'm part of that group and watch their programs, and they're really good. And it was only, I think, $25 to join. They had a special when COVID was going on. That's when I signed up. So that's good. And on Family Tree DNA, if you've taken a test through them, I just wanted to quickly tell you that you can go to group projects and you can join the NSDAR project. They used to ask you who your Patriot was, but they haven't done that lately. But join that project, and then you pretty much immediately start getting results after you join that project, because then at the very bottom where it says advanced matches, that's where you need to click, and then that's where you'll search for whatever project that you're joined, and then you'll start seeing all these people that you match with. And it's amazing. People that are in your DAR chapter that you didn't know you're related to, or I matched with one of the president generals. So it's kind of exciting to see all that. So ancestry through lines. At first, I didn't like through lines. I just thought it's kind of not helpful, but it is helpful. So just a couple of days ago, I looked and saw that somebody had put Isaac Taylor in there and said Revolutionary War. Okay, so I thought I'll start checking out Isaac Taylor. So I found him in the DAR website, and so I've started working on him. And on Ancestry, on the through lines, I clicked on him, and then all the people that I matched with through him, it tells me if I click on one of them, then it gives me all these people, and it tells me who took the test and how I matched with them. And then if they're still active on Ancestry, I can contact them and ask them questions. So that's really cool to be able to do that. This is the list of my references that I'm going to send you later. And on Family Search, if you just go in there and ask for like American Revolution, you'll come up with some different things that you can read. The National Archives, they have some really good information, and you can even volunteer to transcribe some of their records. They have some that are showing that they're not complete yet, so you can pick the state, I guess, that you want to try to help transcribe. And on Facebook, there are some groups that, okay, sorry, weird message just came up here on my screen. Okay, Descendants of the Revolutionary War Patriots. So that's kind of an interesting Facebook group that you might want to think about joining. Okay. There's the one about North Carolina. That one's also on Facebook. That's interesting. And then on Find a Grave, I started a group for the Patriots that were in our chapter, and you may find other groups out there that you might want to join. And sometimes if you get really lucky and you look at somebody on Find a Grave and then you click on their parent and their parent and their parent, you might end up finding a Revolutionary War patriot. I've helped people and we have found them. Okay, this one, militaryindexes.com, is very good. All the lines you see are websites that you can click on those to give you really good information. So your homework assignment also is to look that one up. And all these pages right here are about that. And I'm not going to keep you here all night, so we're not going to talk about each one separately. So like under Tennessee, it says North Carolina and Tennessee, Revolutionary War land warrants. There's a website for the American Revolution in South Carolina. It tells you when you click on the different like colonels, captains, and all of those majors and lieutenants, it will tell you the names of those patriots. Okay, what just happened? Okay. Bureau of Land Management. Have y'all ever used it? Okay, Jamie has. It's really cool. I don't know if you'll find a Revolutionary War patriot on there or not, but I found like a third great grandfather. Mississippi has a lot of records listed. Tennessee, I think only one county was on here, but try this. because you'll be able to find the certificate for the person with their name on it and everything, because I found his middle name that I didn't already know. Okay. Okay. Artificial intelligence. If you haven't used it, you need to try it. So anytime you go to Google to search anything, it's artificial intelligence pulling all this together. So I went on and I did finding your Revolutionary War ancestor, and then all this information came up, and it's actually listed on Family Search. So these pages all came from that. So again, go to Family Search, it's free, and try that out. So in Family Search, if you click on the tree, the big tree, then this is what part of mine that I see. But then, like, I wanted to zoom in on Isaac Taylor to try to work on him, so I zoomed in on him and to get more information, which then it says view relationship, where I put the red rectangle around it. You can do this for anybody. Like if you find out what Ricky Long's number is, his ID number is on here. You can look for Ricky, you can look for me, anybody in here, do view relationship, and you'll get something that looks like this, that tells you how you're related to that person. So the lady that I have down in the lower right, it's like she had put in several sources. So I thought, okay, I want to know more about her so that maybe she can give me some more information. So then I did the view relationship on her, and that's where I came up with how we were related. And that was just my tree, I think, on Isaac Taylor. And then the first Tuesday of every month, Jamie Boone and her committee, the Lineage Research Committee, meet here in the boardroom from 4 to 6, and they will help anybody with their research. So Jamie, make sure everybody knows Jamie in the back. So it's free, it's casual, it's come and go, the first Tuesday from 4 to 6 in the boardroom here. And this was your homework assignment. Are y'all ready? Okay. Did everybody do their homework assignment? If you have the app on your phone, which my phone is up there recording, so we'll have to stop that so I can participate. But if you want to open up the Family Search app, those of you who did your homework, open up the tree, go to Relatives Around Me. It may ask you, you may have to agree to start the scan for relatives. And then when you do that, it should start telling you who you're related to in here, if they're in the app also. And if you didn't do that, go to your tree on Family Search.
My tree's the only thing that's coming up. How do you get that?
Okay.
You click on task or more?
More.
Ah, there it is.
Yeah, and then Relatives Around Me. Larry Smith, you didn't do your homework, did you? I can tell by the look on your face.
Why start now?
I don't know if it'll show or not, because I don't know if it's in mine, but we have I saw a common ancestor that we have, that I have with
You and me?
Okay.
No, but I saw it when she had Elizabeth Barnes.
Okay.
And Joshua Barnes.
Oh.
That's my,
Stephen, will you stop the video so I can use my phone? Thank you.
But mine's not.
No, let's start back.